Hello, everyone. I am so excited about this team huddle. I know that I say that every week, but for those of you that don't know, we had a leadership this past weekend in Dallas. There were only 3 leaders from our team that were able to attend, but oh my gosh, I wish you guys could have all been there. It was definitely 9 years in the best diamond weekend I have ever been to. So I'm excited and want to hype it up now because I want you guys to all be at the next one and just know that it is I had such a mindset shift and just so many good things that I can't wait to share with you guys. I'm not going to totally recap the whole weekend tonight, but I do want to walk you through a couple of things that we talked about this weekend, some different things that we're going to implement, and we're going to take you through some exercises or a variation of exercises that we did this weekend, which is why I really want you guys to have your cameras on. I'm not going to ask you to speak or anything. I just really want that to start being our team normal of showing up, cameras on, even when we're a mess, because we know that it's so easy to turn our camera off and do other things. So giving that 30 minutes of attention and focus to your business is just so important, even if it's just a couple times a week. So the first thing before I dive into all the weekend stuff is tomorrow night we are having team bingo. So same code, same time, tomorrow night, team bingo. Okay, if you haven't played team bingo with us, there might already be a post on the team page. If not, it's probably coming soon with a little bit about how that works, but there'll be a prize or prizes. Sarah Brewer is actually hosting that, but it's super fun, just a different way to get your task done for your business and still be rewarded and just have a good time. So it's not our normal power hour. It's just time to get on and just work together and have some extra perks along the way. So that's tomorrow night. Okay. So let me just dive in. This might be a little bit scattered because I don't want to spend too much time on any particular thing, but I do want to fill you guys in. So the first thing is we talked a lot about the type of people we want to attract into our business. And one of the things that I said this weekend is I really want to attract people that have huge goals, like huge, crazy goals, but that have the work ethic to match it. And while I know most of us don't join this business with crazy God-sized dreams, like we all just want to make like some extra cash, right? To get our nails done or to pay for groceries or pay off debt. Like a majority of you probably joined for something small. And a lot of times when people reach those goals, they then start to dream bigger. But that is like what I'm manifesting is I want to attract people that have huge goals with a work ethic that matches that. So that being said, my personal goal for 2021 is to treat this team as a whole as if you guys all have crazy, insane dreams that you all want to be diamonds or above in this business. And if that's not you, that's okay, because I'm still, hopefully, by treating you all like you are diamonds and above, it is going to push you to hit whatever goal it is. So your goal might not be $2,000 a month, but if I treat you like that is your goal, you'll easily hit whatever goal it is that you did join for. And so I just want to like preface, from here on out in this business, or when you guys hear from me, that if it feels overwhelming or too much or tough love, like I am going to start not saving that stuff for certain ranks. That you don't have to be a diamond and above to get certain types of training, that you don't have to be a ruby and above for me to share certain things out of fear that it might overwhelm you, okay? Because that's normally what it is. It's like, I don't want things to overwhelm them and scare them off, but at the same time, I don't want anyone to be held back. So just know that. Okay, along with that, if you are someone that knows that you've been playing small, or that maybe your why has changed or your dream has changed, even if you're brand new or you've been in for 8 years, like I don't care. If you're someone that knows that you've been playing small and you're ready for something bigger, if you have a new dream, if you have a new goal, like you're ready to go, I would love a message from you guys tonight. I don't care if we're Facebook friends, if I know you personally, I do not care. I would just love to know who on here really does have that kind of crazy goal and that wants to have the work ethic to match that goal. Okay. All right. So one silly but amazing thing that I am going to start implementing in my business this weekend, or from this weekend, is that every time I sign up a new distributor, I will be immediately getting on a FaceTime call with them. And you guys, I don't like talking on the phone. I don't like FaceTiming. Zoom is one thing, getting on here with all of you guys, but that's not usually my thing. But after hearing from some different leaders over the last week and over this last weekend, I want to encourage you guys to do this when you sign up a new distributor. Again, I know some of you guys are new, but if you have someone join this business with you, I'm talking 5 minutes max. You're going to say, I'm so excited you joined. Can I FaceTime you really quick? Or do you have 5 minutes to FaceTime? Okay. And when you get on this call, here's the cool thing. If you're brand new, it doesn't matter because you're not going to talk business. You are going to get face to face with them because a lot of times when we're working on social media, these people do not know us. They might be a friend of a friend. They might be a complete stranger. Maybe they're someone you went to high school with. Regardless, we want you to get face to face as soon as possible. Get out of your comfort zone, get face to face with them. And your call is really going to be something like, I just wanted to meet you face to face just so that, it's not weird because we are strangers on social media. I know you're nervous. Like you are basically going to put yourself in their shoes. So if you were terrified when you first started, or you had that moment of what in the world did I just do, you're getting on there to get to their level and say, I get it. This is so probably out of your comfort zone. It was for me too. I've been there. But here's the thing. I know that you can do this if you follow some steps. I believe in you. We got this. Like, I'll be here for whatever you need. And then just finding out about their life. Okay. You are just getting on the phone with them to make a connection. If their kids are in the background, ask them about their kids. If their dogs are barking, ask them what kind of dog they have. This is to start building that relationship with your new distributors, okay? And then at the very end, the only business thing you're gonna talk about is, my first goal for you is to find 6 people that want to use our products at a huge discount. Okay, you're not even going to go into the customer program or anything like that. You're going to encourage them to go out with urgency to get their first 6 customers. And so we're going to talk about this more on the team page, kind of give you guys a breakdown of that. But I would encourage you guys, as soon as you're comfortable enough, or I'm not even going to say comfortable because for some of you, this is going to be an uncomfortable situation, but I would go for it. Just FaceTime your new distributors. A lot of you guys are bringing in new distributors for $39 right now. If you have promo codes from buying conference tickets, get face to face on the phone with them. 5 minutes, that's all we're asking, okay? And then you can follow whatever training format you are comfortable with, if it's texting, whatever. But we need to build that connection. It needs to be in the first 24 to 48 hours, okay? That's your goal. So that's my challenge to all of you guys. Okay, so moving on to the actual activities. I have 2 things for you tonight, and then Lindsay Rosenhagen is going to walk you through something else. We had 10 hours in a car together this weekend, so she's going to help me out because both of our brains are going a million miles a minute. Okay, so I want you guys to grab your paper, and we are going to make a T-chart. Okay, so just, it's going to be 2 options. We're going to work on the left side of the T-chart first. So on the left side of that T-chart, if you have to use your phone or whatever, that's fine. But the first things that I want you to write down are strengths that you have or attributes you like about yourself. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes. It doesn't all have to be business related. I know, again, some of you guys are new. So just overall, what are your strengths? What are attributes about yourself that you like? And while you guys are writing down your strengths, I also just want to remind you that we are our worst critics. So don't think about, well, I'm kind of good at this, but this person's better. That's not what this is about. This is your personal strengths. It can still be things that you're improving on, but typically the things that you enjoy are your strengths. It can be a personality qualities, it can be leadership, it can be organization, any of those things. Okay. Give you about 30 more seconds. Try to get at least 4 or 5 things written down. Okay, once you guys have a few things written down, I would love for everyone to share just one thing in the chat. What is one strength, one attribute that you like about yourself in the chat? Again, I know that feels uncomfortable sometimes. You get to brag on yourself. Just one thing in the chat. I'm loyal, hard worker, learning to work, good communicator, coachable, determined. I love it. Okay, organized. These are good. Love it. Not afraid to ask questions. That's good. I'm bold, willing to learn. Bold was actually one we talked a lot about this weekend. Loyal, laid back, loyal, ambitious. Okay. So good. Agree with that for you, Tiffany. Okay, so on the other side of the T chart, or if you're on your phone, scroll down a little bit further. I want you to write about specific things you're looking for in your potential distributors. Okay, so when you're thinking about growing a team, even if you're brand new, think about the people that you would love to be in this business with, the people that you think would just rock and roll in this business. I want you to make a list of things you are looking for in potential distributors. Okay, we got like a couple minutes. All right. So things that you are looking for in your future teammates or in your current teammates, either one. All right. So go ahead, start sharing. Just share 1 or 2 things that you have on your right side of the column in the chat. Good listener, no excuses, excited, passionate, glass half full, determined, inquisitive, self-motivated, fearless. So good. Similar work ethic as me. Ask questions, ready to run. Deep friendships, goal-oriented, likes to be challenged, when willing to jump out of their comfort zone, hard worker, coachable, optimistic. These are so good. Okay. Good reading comprehension. I like it. Okay. Cool. I love it. All right. So now I want you guys to look at your list side by side. I want you to look at the right-hand side, and I want you to circle anything that you have on the right-hand side that is not on the left-hand side.
Hey, I did mine top and bottom.
It's
Are you
fine.
saying circle on the DT list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I would love for you guys to share in the chat. Do any of you have, were the qualities that you're looking for pretty similar to the qualities that you like about yourself? Are your strengths a lot of what you're looking for? Because what we found a lot this weekend is like, I'm looking for someone that wants this as badly as I do. I'm looking for someone that is eager as I do. I'm looking for someone that has goals like I do. I'm looking for someone that's willing to work like I do. But it's really important to also recognize that we are going to attract what we are. So if you are looking for a quality that you are maybe weaker in, that's okay. But we want to recognize those things so we can get better in those areas. So, my goal for this, everyone on this Zoom is that eventually your left side looks like your right side. So, if you are looking for someone that has a no excuse mentality, but on your left side, that's not a strength that you feel like you have, then there we go. That's a place that we need to work. We have to bridge the gap between the left and the right for you guys to start bringing in the type of people that you are looking to work with. Okay. Um, so let me see the chat. Very similar goals that I'm working towards. Okay, perfect. So the other thing that a lot of people on this Zoom right now need to hear is the things that you wrote down on the right-hand side. That is what you need to focus on. Because what happens a lot of times, and this is especially for those of you that have been in for a little bit, is we start focusing on things that we don't want, things that maybe people that have joined before that didn't work. And we tend to say things like, everyone that I sign up doesn't work, or nobody is willing to work hard, or whatever. We make up all of these things. We need to start speaking out what you want. Stop talking about what you don't want. Stop talking about things in the past. Stop thinking about things you don't want to attract, because guess what? When you put that out there, you attract exactly what you are not looking for. There was a girl this weekend that kept talking about, like, just, gosh, people in this world just aren't willing to work hard for the goals that they have, which isn't true. Clearly, it sounds silly. There's lots of people that are willing to work for their goals. But when you are in that mindset of, nobody I sign up works, my team doesn't work, this doesn't work, or whatever, that's what you attract. And then you're more frustrated because you continue to attract the same thing. So I want you guys to really focus on this right hand side of your list of what you're attracting. And then obviously, whatever you circled, or if you circled multiple things on the right hand side that weren't on the left, pick one. Just pick one area to improve in. You can do targeted self-development. You can work on it. You can message your sponsor and say, okay, here's my weakness. This is what I want in my business, but this is where I'm lacking, and come up with a plan to get better in that area. But again, we want you focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. Okay, you're going to find what you focus on, like Lindsay said in the chat. Okay, and then I'm going to give you one more activity. I'm not going to walk you through this one specifically, but I want you guys to kind of just think of it as like a journaling prompt for tomorrow. Okay, so you can wake up in the morning and you can kind of walk through this, and I think some of you guys will have some aha moments. So it's going to be the same thing. You're going to make a T chart. You can go ahead and write this out. And on the left-hand side, you are going to make a list of things that are working or that have worked for you in 2020. Okay, and then on the right-hand side, you're going to make a list of things that you're going to leave behind. And again, if you are newer to the business, what is working for you might be doing something for your business every single day. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. It could be post to post. It could be sharing the opportunity. It could be whatever. Okay. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. And it could be, what you'll leave behind. It might be sleeping in or leaving my KPI tracker till the end of the day. It could be trying to multitask and watching Netflix and working your business. If that's not working for you, that's something you can leave behind. Okay, so what's working for you and what you will leave behind, and making that list. Because the thing about this business is it's always evolving, and you are always evolving at the same time. You have to be willing to be flexible, and every few months be like, okay, let's take a look at what I'm doing and what's working and what's not. Let's work smarter, not harder. Let's stop doing things that aren't working for us and do more of what is. And I know that seems so silly, like, well, duh, But a lot of times we will continue to do something that used to work for us over and over in hopes that it's going to start working again, instead of recognizing the business changed. So businesses change, social media changes, um, the company changes, products change. You have to be willing to change and to learn and to grow. So things that are working, things that are not working. Okay. And I'm going to let Lindsay talk now because I already went over. There's several things that I could still share. But I'm really excited about this, you guys. We are going to be doing a vision board, dream board party as a team on December 20th, which obviously will remind you, I know it's a ways away, but I wanted to encourage you guys, like, if you're at Walmart or Target or on Amazon, start getting things ready. Okay. Poster board, magazines, whatever. Okay. So she's going to kind of dive into one part of the dream board we're going to focus on that we want you to start thinking about now. But go ahead and mark that date in your calendar, because I really believe in the power of having a dream or a vision board, and we're going to make it fun and do it together virtually. So, all right, Lindsay, take it away.
Okay. First, I'm going to say, make sure you're plugged into the team page, you guys. I'm just going to say, when Alyssa and I get together for 10 hours straight, we get really fun ideas. So I'm actually really, really excited about what's coming up for the team. It's December 20th, Amy. Okay, so along the lines of dream boards, vision boards, something I do, and I've been doing this for the past 4 or 5 years. I don't remember when I started doing it, but it's been about 4 or 5 years. When I think of the upcoming year, I kind of think about, like, what do I want out of this year? Now, a lot of people have New Year's resolutions and things like that. I kind of dropped that. I don't like that. So I started doing a word of the year. And I know a lot of you probably already do this. Some of you may have heard of it, and some of you may have not heard of it. But grab your pen, grab your paper, because I'm going to give you 5 steps to choosing your word. And okay, so my word, and I'm going to give you kind of an overview of how this has helped me. I'm going to go through it really quickly. 2018, my word was revive. It was revived because 2017 took the wind out of my sails. I had a lot of life happen, and I just felt like I wasn't myself that year. I needed to revive every piece of my life, my business, my personal life, my spirituality, everything had to just get new breath. So that was my word that I focused on in every aspect all year. My word for 2019 was worthy. I was really struggling with feeling deserving, feeling worthy, and it's what I focused on in therapy. It's what I journaled about constantly. I read books on it, all of that stuff. And then this year, my word is proud. This is probably my favorite word I have ever chosen. I know it seems silly to choose proud as a word because pride is bad, but that's not what it is for me. For this year, it was being proud of myself at the end of the day, looking back at a situation and being proud of how I handled it. And then allowing myself to feel convicted if I wasn't proud at the end of the day, and think, okay, well, how can I change that to do better? And you guys, when this word, like, it manifested in a way and showed its face in a way this year that I was not expecting, because I know COVID and all that, but this year I had big time life happen to me outside of that mess. And this word, like, I am truly proud of how proud I am of how I handled everything that happened. And if I hadn't chosen that word, if that word proud wasn't on the forefront of my mind all year, I don't know that I would have handled it the same way. Of like, I need to heal properly. I need to journal. I need to really dive into therapy. I need to do all this stuff. Like, this word isn't something, some days you're not even going to think about it. Some days you'll choose your word and you'll go a month without thinking about it. But the beautiful thing is, when you set a word and you really focus on it, it becomes part of your DNA for that year. And it will seep into a lot of other parts of your life. So around this time of year, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's getting time for me to pick my next word. And I am utterly clueless, you guys. I'm like, I have no idea what my word is going to be. I mean, not even a hint. I have no clue. And I always, every year I get freaked out because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to figure out my word. I'm not going to know what the heck to focus on. But it never fails. I always land on the perfect word. So I'm going to give you some exercises. I'm going to tell you what I personally do. And these things are going to help you, especially if this is your first year doing this and you're like, I don't know. Okay. So first of all, you need to reflect. These are the questions. You're going to write down 5 questions for journal prompts, meditation, think about when you're on a walk, whatever. Okay. The first one is, what could I use more of in my life? What could I use more of in my life? For me, that is my worthy word. I needed to feel more worthy, right? The second question you're going to ask yourself is, what could I use less of in my life? I know a lot of people, this one girl I follow, she's an entrepreneur. Her word was essentialism. She wanted to only do what was essential, no fluff in her business. Like, she dialed it down to the most important things in her business. She's not in network marketing. She's just another entrepreneur, but like, that's an example. Is what do you need to get out of your life? The third one is, what characteristics would I like to have? Think about the list we just made. If there's a word that you need to focus on, if there's a word over there, start meditating on that word. Maybe a different word that will help you get to that word will be better, but think about that. Where do you need to grow? What characteristics would you like to have? The fourth one is, by the end of the day, I feel blank. So exhausted, tired, drained. Do you need to find weight? Do you need energy? That's something that I haven't really used that question, but I could see how it could help other people. So by the end of the day, I feel blank. The fifth one is exactly how I got to my word this year, which I loved so much, is, how do I want to feel? And honestly, all my words are that way. Revive, worthy, proud, they are all that way. How do I want to feel? Okay, so you're going to take some time, you're going to answer those questions, and that'll give you a better sense of the direction you're going to go with your word, okay? And because if you look at all three of my words that I have shared with you, they're all so different, but they all have to do with how I feel. Okay, and then the second thing you're going to do is visualize. You're going to visualize what your perfect day feels like. Emphasize feel. Circle it, underline it. Feels like, not what you do every day, how you feel about the day. Is it grateful? Do you need to be more grateful? Do you need to be more intentional? Do you need to be, more structured? Maybe you're not structured enough, or maybe you need to loosen up a little bit. I don't know. Figure out how you want to feel throughout your day. And with this one, really sit in silence and ask yourself, what word do I want to focus on in 2020 with that ideal of feeling, and see what happens. And you know what? The first time you sit down and meditate on that, you might not come up with anything, but almost every time I start thinking on this question, what do I want it to be? It'll just hit me while I'm eating lunch one day. And I'm like, that's it. That's the word. But it's because I've been thinking about these questions, guys. Okay. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to create a list. You're going to spend 10 minutes creating a list of words that just come to your mind. You're not going to self-edit. You're not going to say, no, that one's not good. No, I don't think so. You're just going to write down the words that come to your mind after doing those two things, after visualizing and after reflecting. And then you can even Google lists. There are so many lists of words of the year that you can look at. And there are going to be words that just pop out at you. And there are going to be words that's like, no, no, no. Okay, so you're going to create your list. All right. And then the next thing you're going to do after you create your list is you're going to review and refine that list. You're going to narrow it down to 3 words. And when you narrow it down to those 3 words, you are going to notice a theme. Okay. And that theme is going to be very important. When you're looking at these words, do any of the words that you've written down jump out at you? How do they make you feel? Do they make you feel excited, uncomfortable, nervous, scared, at ease? Some of us need to feel nervous about our words. Some of us need to be uncomfortable if we want to really grow. I typically feel at ease, and not of this is going to be easy, just as I feel like this is where God is calling me to grow this year. That's what I mean by at ease. I don't mean like, oh, that's easy, I already do that. That's not what I mean at ease. So if you feel uncomfortable, maybe that's good. Ask yourself, do I need to get uncomfortable? Do I need to feel that way? Okay. And then the last thing you need to ask yourself, and this is huge, and this one thing, we kind of started talking about this in the car, is this can ease into a lot of other, go into a lot of other things, is, are you interested or are you committed? When you choose your word, are you interested in that idea of what that word can bring you? Because if you're only interested, you're going to make excuses for not putting forth the effort to make the changes for that word. But if you're committed, you'll do whatever it takes for that word. I had to have really uncomfortable conversations with my therapist when I chose the word worthy, and I hated it because I hate feelings. And This year, I had to get really, really convicting with myself when I wasn't feeling proud. I mean, there would be like a week would go by and I'm like, and I have my dream board literally right here on my wall and I see proud on it. And I would get in bed and I'm like, I didn't do anything this whole week to make myself proud, to be proud of. And I would change it. I mean, it's like a trigger and it changes it. And that goes into all of my life. If it's, I have really not spent a lot of time with God, I'm not proud of that. So what can I do? I need to wake up. I need to go to bed earlier so I can wake up earlier. You know, I didn't get my hosted post up. I'm not proud. When I don't get my hosted post up, oh my gosh, I am not proud when my head hits that pillow. I will tell you that right now. You know, you have to figure out what word is going to drive the biggest change that you're going to want this next year. Okay. And again, don't freak out. You have time, but the reason we're introducing it now is because we don't want you to rush to this. If you just throw up a goal and have no intention of following it, what's the point? So we need to make sure that your word is your word. And a lot of us might have the same words, but they mean different things for each of us. Okay. So, and my word ends up being everywhere. I put it everywhere. I find Bible verses about it and I read those verses and I highlight them and I write them out, and proud's on everything. Like I have Alyssa gave me this notebook that I use, proud. And it feels so silly carrying around a notebook that says proud because we're told don't be that. No, pride's bad. But pride can be good. And so I love having this because I keep it on my bedside. I love it. I see it all the time. I see my proud over here. And then it's going to change next year. And I'm going to grow more. And the thing is I can look back on 2020 and say, I've been more proud of myself. Wholeheartedly, I've been more proud of myself this year, despite everything that has happened, than I ever have been in my life. And that's how I know that word was given to me by God, because it's exactly what I needed and it's exactly how I needed to grow. And it was uncomfortable, but I did it. And so I have no idea what my word's going to be this next year, and I'm a little nervous for it, but I know I'll land on it. But that's because I'm starting now, and I'm going to start meditating on it, and I'll journal through it, and I'll land on it, and so will you. And I'm excited. And I also encourage you, if you're a little clueless and you have goals for this next year and you're like, I want to talk through them, I want to see where I can grow, ask for a coaching call with your sponsor, because this business isn't everything, but every leader on here can tell you that when you grow in this business, you grow in your whole life. So if you're like, I've got big goals in this business because I know what it can do for my family, get with your sponsor, ask them to get real with you. What can I do? How am I falling short? What are the aspects that I need to pull out of myself? Are you seeing me that I'm scared to pull out? Get real and get honest, because the more honest you are with yourself, the more you're going to grow, and you'll really regret not really going for it. So I'm done talking.
It was so good. Okay. So I know a lot of times, again, if you're newer and you get onto a Zoom and we are like harping personal development or words or dream boards, and like, I'm not going to lie, when I started this business, I didn't do a lot of personal development. I didn't understand the value of it. I thought some of these things were cheesy. Like, I would kind of throw together kind of a dream board and like put it in my drawer somewhere and like never look at it again. There's a reason that Lindsay's been in for 6 years, 5 years. And I've been in for 9 years. There's a reason we're teaching this. We wouldn't take 30 minutes of your night to talk about things like this if we didn't know it wouldn't impact your business and help you dream bigger and give you a better vision for what this business can do for you. And we want your word to be on your dream board. So knowing your word, well, not knowing it tonight, but finding out your word over the next, month or 2 months. We want you to know your word before January 1st, but having that on your dream board will help. And then, like she said, putting it everywhere and letting people know what it is, making a post about it, telling your sponsor what it is, having that accountability for that word, so that any sort of season that happens in your life, any sort of event that comes up, you can always come back to that word and be like, okay, how can I find that in this situation? I know that the Sunday night call is about to start. I really have one other exercise I want to walk you guys through really quickly. Like, I just feel like we need to do it. Something we talked a lot about this weekend is raising your financial thermostat. And that just is like basically what mentally we can envision ourselves making. It could be a worthy thing. It could be how we were raised. But I'm just going to do a quick little exercise to start, even if we can just raise your financial thermostat just a little bit to show you guys to reach just a little bit higher than where you're currently at. And there's lots of development you can do, like Secrets of the Millionaire Mind talks about this a lot. But no matter where you guys are sitting right now, no matter what your goal is, this exercise will work for you too. So I'm just going to have you write down a couple of more things. You may have to come back and get exact numbers, but just try to be as honest with yourself as you can when we go through this. So it'll be 2 minutes and then you guys can jump on the Sunday night call. Okay, so I want you to write down the amount of money that you need. And we're just going to talk specifically from this business. And granted, I know that some of you just need to cover your phone bill, or you just need to get a pedicure, whatever it is. Some of you it's bigger. Some of you it is, I want to leave my job or cover daycare or whatever. What do you need from this business to do that? If your goal is to cover all of your bills, how much are your bills? Okay, what do you need? What do you need to live for this business or with this business? I know we have a lot of people with full-time jobs that are maybe don't need this. You're okay. You can get by without it, but there's got to be a need. You joined this business for a reason. So what's that need? Okay, the next thing that I want you to write down is I want you to increase that number to give yourself some cushion. Okay, this is just how we're going to raise it just a little bit. Okay, that's what you need. We're going to add some cushion to that. So give yourself a number that doesn't totally freak you out, but something like it might be $200. For some of you, it might be $1,000, $2,000. Okay, but we want you to add a little bit of cushion to that number. Okay, just enough to push you just a little extra that you know you can do without freaking yourself out. Okay. The next thing I want you to write down is how much you want to put in savings monthly. Okay, because for a lot of people that join this business, that is a huge why. Is they either want to reach a certain amount in their savings or they want to have a savings at all. I know most people, including myself, when I joined, didn't have one. So how much would you love to put in savings every single month from your It Works checks? And then the last thing is, how much do you want to give? Okay, some of you, this could be very important to you. For others of you, it may not be, but I truly believe giving is a huge part of receiving. So how much do you want to give? And this could be in the form of tithing. It could be in the form of just wanting to be able to give back at a certain organization. It could be contributing to someone's GoFundMe. Like, it doesn't matter, but how much would you just love to be able to give every single month? And then I want you to total those 4 numbers. And this is the number that I really want everyone to start focusing on, to start believing they're worthy of. Put it up on your mirror if you want to, but start believing that that number is possible for you. Figure out even maybe what rank that might mean for you hitting in 2021 or this year for that matter. There's still lots of time left in this year, but start looking at that number. Start growing that financial thermostat to where you believe you can go out and get that number. Because the truth is, we'll never get more than where our thermostat is set. So you have to do exercises like this. You have to do the development. You have to grow your confidence. You have to show up to Zooms. You have to show up to events to raise that financial thermostat. So this exercise isn't going to do it for you, but you need to have the number so that you can start working your way up towards that. Okay. Some of you are like, well, that number is probably really high. I saw that Mickey said that. Well, that number ended up high, and that's okay, because anything is possible in this business, but it starts with finding the goal and then finding the work ethic that matches it and starting to believe that you're worthy of it, and start raising that financial thermostat to where you know that it's possible and more. Okay. So I love that exercise. Again, you guys can go back through and get more accurate numbers, really figure it out, maybe even talk to a spouse or significant other, whatever, like, and break down like what this business needs to be for you, and then set some goals around that. But anyways, okay. that's it for tonight. I appreciate you guys so much for being on. I know we went a little bit long. Hopefully the Sunday night call is up right now. You guys can go over to Mark's page, watch the live, and then team bingo tomorrow night, 8:30, I think 8:30 Central tomorrow night. Same code, and we will see you guys there. Thanks, Linz.